San Francisco, 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Almost to the day, they traded up to number 3 in the draft. It happened in late March. They make that big move.
Mac Jones, baby. They're going to draft Mac Jones, man. That's who they're drafting.
Sending out the smoke signals. They're going to take Mac Jones. They had the opportunity to choose between Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. They took Trey Lance. It's now clear that Trey Lance is number 2 behind Brock Purdy. Some of the things that GM John Lynch said yesterday made it clear Purdy's their guy. And the question came up of possibly trading Trey Lance. We like Trey on our team right now, John Lynch said. Kyle and I always joke we trade each other if someone would give us enough of a good deal. So we listen to anything, but we like Trey on our team. We're very excited about the way he's progressing, about his opportunity. I think he's chomping at the bit to get back out there, back under center, and be healthy again. This is the kind of thing that if he's untouchable, you scoff. No, the future is still bright. Everything's in front of Trey Lance. He's been dealt a bad hand. This is our guy. We still believe in him as much as we ever did.
Yeah.
This is our guy. He's not going anywhere. He's under contract for 2 more years. We have the 5th-year option. This is our guy. Anything other than that?
Yeah.
Hey, if you're interested, make us an offer.
Right. I'm not shocked to hear this. Mike, I had kind of said this to some San Francisco media personalities at the Super Bowl, and they were like, whoa, what? And I was just, again, I wasn't breaking news or had any knowledge, but just, hey, we know the way the NFL works. Quarterback, high expectations, isn't meeting them, hasn't done anything, hasn't played in 2 years, was raw in college already and has an injury. You think that solidifies a spot on the roster for you? No. When you say things like that, you go, what I said to Matt Mayako out there in the Bay Area who follows the 49ers, I think anything's on the table. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded him, right? Yeah, he's behind the 8 ball. He was already behind the 8 ball in development and being raw. And now Purdy has passed him up, and he's going to have a guy in Sam Darnold who has talent and has also played more than him and has more of a natural feel for him. So I would think they're going to field calls for the San Francisco 40 for Trey Lance. Maybe they're hoping a team that was hot on them in the draft, right? The Atlanta Falcons, they were always a team that was, kind of attached to him in the draft process, that they liked Trey Lance. Would they want to maybe take a flyer and trade a pick to see if they can develop Trey Lance? Would they want to do it? The Tennessee Titans, they got Rand Carthon, right? He just came from the 49ers. How much does he like him? Call him up. Hey, Rand, you guys looking for a quarterback of the future? You like Trey, blah, blah, blah. So I understand that. I don't think they'll give him away for anything, but I think it's fair to be open for business in that conversation with where they are right now.
My son is always looking for trade possibilities involving his Minnesota Vikings.
Your
He's
Minnesota
willing
Vikings.
to broker the deal of Kirk Cousins for Trey Lance.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
So,
well, I'm sure Shanahan might like that too. He might like that. He might take Kirk Cousins right now. Go.
Apparently, at the scouting combine, there was some chatter, there was some noise among people within the broader league structure, not media, but people in the league, about Cousins being traded to the 49ers. That was a hot topic at one point in Indianapolis. And, at this point, Cousins has redone his deal. It's a $38 million cap charge. But you know what? If you're going to swap out Kirk Cousins, you bring in a guy who's under a low-cost contract like a Trey Lance. Trey Lance, North Dakota State, close to home, gets a chance to resurrect his career. And I feel bad for Trey Lance.
It's a tough situation.
He had no say, no power, honor, and a privilege to be thrust into a situation where you have the high expectations of being the 3rd overall pick, heightened by playing for a great team, heightened by everything they gave up to get in position to get you. You're the guy they gave up 3 1s and a 3 to get, and all you can go is down. He needs a fresh start. And Chris, a point that Pete Demolitis made earlier, look at how the Jets have twisted themselves in knots to defend Zach Wilson and keep Zach Wilson. They've never said, hey, anybody's, make us an offer, make a call. Oh, everybody's available. They never said that was Zach Wilson. They've adamantly pushed back on any notion that Zach Wilson's not going to be with the Jets.
Yeah, you're right. That says a lot. I don't disagree with you or Pete there in that point. Yeah, the Jets, sir, they've been adamant because they see some talent and have seen some things to go, wait, we still think there's something there. The 49ers, you get the sense that, and we got this sense last year, and even in preseason, and when they were like, it was like, damn, it's just not working. It's not good enough. It's It's scary. It's why they kept Jimmy Garoppolo, who they didn't want to keep. I mean, they didn't want to keep him, but they kept him because they were like, whoa, the guy we're starting is really raw, and I'm not sure he knows what he's doing out here. So they kept Garoppolo because of that. But, yeah, we'll see where it goes. And don't forget, too, right, Mike, when this happened, when Rand Carthon signed with the Tennessee Titans, didn't Trey Lance send out a tweet with, like, crossing figures emoji, kind of implying that, like, oh, I hope you take me with you? So, I think he's probably got some of the same sentiments you're saying there. He's like, man, I'm in a no-win situation. This is tough. I'd like a fresh start. And, I wouldn't be shocked if something went down, but I don't know what his value is at this point. And if you're the 49ers, Mike, can you trade him away for – I traded 3 first-round picks for a guy. Can we trade him away for a 5th or 6th rounder a few years ago when he didn't play? I wonder about things like that and how it looks, and they're going to be scrutinized and all that. Would that bother him? What do you think there?
What balances it out is the fact that they got Brock Purdy with the last pick in the draft.
Yeah, that's right.
So
you're right about that.
Mm-hmm. I could see Kyle today when he meets with the media. Remember he met last year and he looked all disheveled.
He was late and right. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
I hope he's late and disheveled again this time too.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow because we'll be playing some of it. But I could see him justify that by saying, look, we know it's a crapshoot. We don't know what's going to happen. Sometimes you make a move up and you get a guy that you think it's going to work and it doesn't work. And sometimes there's a guy there at the last pick in the draft and he ends up being the guy who could potentially be your quarterback for 15 years. That's the way football works. We accept that. If you get too caught up in things like that, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to keep pushing. You have to keep taking your chances. They're all lottery tickets. Some work, some don't. So be it. That's all you can really say. Although in hindsight, yes, it was a stupid move to do what they did. They should have stayed where they were. They would have gotten a quarterback in that spot, and there would have been a lot less pressure. That's the one thing that I think teams don't think of. Because there is that sense of it's all interchangeable parts. You have to think of the impact on the human being. Of not just him being the first pick or the third pick or the fourth pick in the draft, but everything that you gave up to get in position. It enhances the pressure and the expectations, and these are still young kids. And I do feel bad for Trey Lance. And it's not like he's in a position where he can stand up and say, I want out of here.
Yeah,
what's he done
to
deserve the ability to say, I want out?
Yeah.
But he should want out. And anybody who cares about this kid having a meaningful NFL career should be saying, yeah, 49ers, why don't you trade him and let him get a fresh start somewhere else? Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.